Today we're going to look at two different approaches to this TMUA geometry problem, one of them involving Pythagoras and one of them using similar triangles. We're given this diagram of a kite and we're told some information about the side lengths. Now, whenever you have some information like this and a diagram, you do want to double check that all the information you're given is on the diagram, and in this case it is. So we can largely ignore this over here. We're asked which of the following conditions, A, B, C, D, or E, is necessary and sufficient for angle SPQ to be a right angle. Now, we know that necessary and sufficient means essentially equivalent, right? So this question is asking which one of these conditions is equivalent to angle SPQ being 90 degrees. Now, for the first approach, we're going to think about this triangle PSQ. Now, we want this angle SPQ to be 90 degrees, and PSQ is certainly a triangle, which means that angle SPQ being 90 degrees is going to be equivalent to the triangle SPQ being a right-angled triangle. Now, a triangle is right-angled if and only if it satisfies Pythagoras' theorem. So this happens exactly when PS squared plus PQ squared is equal to QS squared. This is promising because we can find these lengths in terms of x and z. So for example, PS squared by Pythagoras' theorem is just going to be squared plus z squared. And PQ squared, similarly, is going to be squared plus y squared. Finally, SQ is this length over here. We can see that that's z plus y. So we have z plus y squared. Now we can try expanding this out. So over here, we're going to get z squared plus y squared plus 2yz. And we can simplify this equation. We have some cancellation. So this z squared and this z squared are going to cancel. This y squared and this y squared are going to cancel. And we're going to be left with 2x squared equals 2yz, or x squared equals yz. So the answer is going to be option C. Now, this second approach is more subtle, but you might prefer it if you like to think about similar triangles. We're going to think about this angle over here, alpha. Now, SPQ being 90 degrees is equivalent to this remaining angle being 90 minus alpha, because both of these have to add up to 90 degrees. But we know this is a right angle, this is a right angle, and we can use that to calculate these angles. So this one will be 90 minus alpha, and this one will be alpha. That means that SPQ is 90 degrees if and only if these two triangles over here, PSO and POQ, are similar to each other. Right-angled triangles are similar to each other if they have the same ratio between their side lengths. So that means the ratio of z to x has to be the same as the ratio of x to y. In other words, we have SPQ is 90 degrees if and only if z over x is equal to x over y. And cross-multiplying, we're going to get zy equals squared, which again is telling us that the answer is option C.